We're in Dover's Pine Hill Cemetery, which is the major cemetery in Dover. And the Brown family plot is rather prominently placed here near the top of the hill in the center of the cemetery. And this is where all of Dover's notables were buried in the 1800s.
In the unmarked grave surrounded by her remarkable family, Nellie Brown Mitchell, a prominent African-American soprano in the late 19th century, was laid to rest after leaving her mark on America's musical landscape.
Nellie Brown Mitchell was born in 1845, and she early displayed an extraordinary musical talent. And she went on to become one of the leading sopranos in the United States, an extraordinary career.
Nellie Brown's musical talent was discovered early in her life, and her family sent her to Boston for education as a teenager.
She graduates from the New England Conservatory of Music, the top training facility really in the country, and she has a kind of a premier concert at Steinway Hall in New York, which is the equivalent of doing your premiere at Carnegie Hall today. So she was clearly well known.
She went on to tour, even forming her own group, the Nellie Brown Company, where she was joined by her sister Edna, who was also a singer.
Even though it was Reconstruction, a rather hopeful time for the African-American community in New England, she would not have been invited to sing with the Boston Symphony Orchestra or the other symphony orchestras. She would not have had the opportunity to make that grand tour as a soprano in Europe.
So she turned to teaching and was an entrepreneur.
My feeling is that it had to do with the extraordinary quality of her voice. And I think that her emphasis on that she was a go-to teacher, the invention of the phonetarian. I think people saw her as somebody who had a virtuosic technique.
The soprano's story focuses on her incredible musical career. But even her life beyond music was remarkable. She married Charles Mitchell, a Civil War hero, and one of the first African Americans elected into the Massachusetts legislature. Her brother Edward Brown was a Boston attorney and the first African American justice of the peace in New Hampshire.
It's an extraordinary family. Her father, Charles J. Brown, was a barber slash hairdresser who had very prominent hairdressing rooms in Franklin Square and the New Morrill building on Central Avenue. And so he would have been in the center of Dover life and clearly would have been involved in abolitionist activity here.
They were all laid to rest here in Dover, yet it's unclear why Nellie's grave was left unmarked.
But the Black Heritage Trail is going to do something about that. We have a local carver, we have a design, and it's going to have the phrase of the first line of the National Negro Anthem, "Lift every voice and sing." And with this historical recognition, we're going to have a Black Heritage Trail marker out on the street there. I think that we can let her voice sing again and let all of Dover and America know that this extraordinary woman is buried here.
As part of the Black Heritage Trail of New Hampshire's Juneteenth celebration, international award-winning singer and performer Ann Kenji took to the stage and honored Nellie Brown Mitchell and other famous African-American female singers who broke down barriers and paved the way for future generations.
Because I sing in a lot of genres, I wanted to put together a program that would honor the African American soprano and the various singers that have been inspired by the African American soprano, starting from Nellie Brown Mitchell. We all, as artists, are standing on the shoulders of those legends and those unsung heroes that paved the way, like there wouldn't be a road. And then of course our job is to be able to like uphold their legacy, to honor the legacy, celebrate them, and then also create new roads for others to follow.
The concert was just one of many programs put on by the Black Heritage Trail of New Hampshire to celebrate the federal holiday.
Juneteenth is an amazing celebration of African slaves, the finally being free, like truly free. And I think that's very important because we hear a lot about the Emancipation Proclamation, but a lot of people don't know that's not when slaves were truly free. So Juneteenth is a celebration of that. And it's very important that we honor that history and know that history as well, because, you know, if we don't understand our past, we can make the mistakes in the future.
But that's what the recovery work is all about. And it's not just about giving us a fuller and freer picture of New Hampshire history. It means that today, that the African American community and all people in New Hampshire can understand that there were people here that they can point to pride and they can feel this is our home. This is our home for all of us of whatever race, as we can understand you know what it means in this history, and that when someone sings today, they might understand that Nellie Brown Mitchell's voice was heard before theirs.